What's up, Meta Nerds? Welcome back to the second part of Luke's first students. We covered the first 6 in part 1, so now let's talk about the remaining 6. First up was Gant Taurus, a human male from the planet Eel Shah. Through Luke's research, he discovered that a Jedi Knight broke their code and got pregnant, and exiled herself to a remote world. This woman was Gant Taurus' grandmother, and he grew up never knowing of his Jedi ancestry. He came to lead the colonists on his planet, and had the ability to predict earthquakes, a skill that made Luke Skywalker believe that he definitely found the right guy. Gant Taurus thought that Luke was the dark man from his visions, and scrutinized Luke to see if he was truly in the light. He was eventually convinced, and followed him to Yavin 4. Gant Taurus' visions of the dark man became more frequent, and he was contacted by the spirit of Exar Kun, who showed him how to gain more power through the dark side, and urged him to make his own lightsaber. He was about to be consumed by the dark side before he snapped out of it and rejected the Sith Lord. Sadly, he had been haunted by these visions of the dark man for good reason, as the ancient Sith killed this Jedi by causing him to burst into flames. Koren Horn was a Corellian pilot that became an ace in Rogue Squadron. He too was a descendant of a Jedi, with his grandpa being a Jedi Master. Horn used his intuition to help him in combat and escape from prisons, and it was Luke who told him that this was more than good luck, and revealed his family history. He joined Luke's academy, but still helped the New Republic by flying Rogue Squadron missions in between his training. He would achieve the rank of Master, raise his own kids in the way of the Jedi, fought against the Yuuzhan Vong, and even against Han Solo's son turned Sith, Darth Caedus. He conquered almost all of his challenges in life, but his children would be stricken with a disease called Force Madness, which made the victim's mind deteriorate, forcing him to lock up his own son and daughter in carbonite until a cure could be found. Madurin was a female Anx, a giant species of over 4 meters tall. It is unclear how Luke discovered her, but her abilities in connecting the minds of force-sensatives were a crucial asset that helped the New Republic defeat the Yuuzhan Vong. The last we hear from her, she was continuing his service as a Jedi General. Kyle Katarn was a stormtrooper who defected to the Rebel Alliance, and through his missions, he was visited by the spirit of Jedi Ran, who told the ex-Imperial that he could become a Jedi like his father before him. He went out on missions to discover the Valley of the Jedi, which had become a Force nexus due to Darth Bane's thought bomb, and he had to fight off Dark Jedi Jarek and his acolytes before eventually becoming a Jedi Master. He would eventually teach new students at the Jedi Academy, and even got a seat on the Jedi High Council. Now for the last 2 spots, it is a little unclear, and would have been from either Havit, Keon, Nikos, or Harlan. Havit was an agent in the Rebel Alliance who stole the Death Star's super laser plans, and was discovered by Luke to be strong in the Force, but he was killed by a fellow student who had turned to the dark side. It may have been Keon Farlander, a Rebel pilot who joined up after the Empire killed his family, and who was at all of the major battles that we saw in the original trilogy. He used the Force when piloting, but turned himself off to it once he started to feel the creep of the dark side. When he met Luke, he felt he wasn't alone anymore, opened himself up, and joined the new academy. He would also help the New Republic as a general, leading many attacks on the Yuuzhan Vong. It may have been Niko Smarr, who was a part of the Jedi Order during the Republic, but was with other Jedi on a remote planet during Order 66. They were hunted by Palpatine, but he was able to survive because they all took off in craft going in separate directions. Finding life on another world, he was able to lay low until news spread that a Jedi had killed the Emperor and freed the galaxy. He introduced himself to Luke at Yavin 4, but would die only a year later due to a rare disease. And the one we know the least about was a female human named Harlan, but many point out that her character came into a guide to the role-playing game Jedi Academy, and may have never been intended to be in-universe. But that's it for Luke's first 12 students at his Jedi Praxeum on Yavin 4. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to check out our social media, or ways that you can help support this channel, be sure to check out the description down below. If you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications. But more important than all that, remember, Exar Kun would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that Skywalker and his blasted students. And the Force will be with you, always.